I can buy this nice can of beer for $8, but somebody in England just spent $2,200 for a can. We'll tell you why.
The Smithsonian Institute in Washington is putting together a display on craft brewing history in America. I think it needs the original Joe Sixpack.
Not much chance of that. He is Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at the Ship Bottom Beer Garden at Linvilla Orchards on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Montgo Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Follow the Bucks County Ale Trail. Go to visitbuckscounty.com/ale trail to get your passport. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company, now with 5 locations.
It's a place that inspires the dreamers, the overachievers. A place for those who follow the path, as well as the ones who blaze them. So whether you want to go with the flow or rise above it all, visit Bucks County and be inspired.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. By the way, you can follow him on Twitter at beer_radar. I'm at Real Glen Macnow, and today we're at the Ship Bottom Beer Garden at the beautiful Linvilla Orchards. It's just a lovely fall night. We're enjoying ourselves with some beer, some donuts.
Brisk.
What else would you need?
Yeah, really, just a brisk, fun night.
Yeah, I'm having a wet hop by Ship Bottom, made with New Jersey hops from Colts Neck, New Jersey.
Neat. Wow, yeah.
Very nice, but that's not the subject of our beer trade. You're going with a whole different one today.
Yeah, we've been doing some beers that are overlooked styles, and tonight I thought we should talk about Kolsch, which is the beer of Cologne, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a classic style of beer. It's sort of a hybrid style, Glenn. It's sort of like it seems like a lager, but it actually starts out in life as an ale because it's got a top fermenting yeast on it, and then it's cold conditioned. And the reason it does
It
and the reason they did that is that the brewers in this area, and this is a sort of a historical note, were not allowed to make the lager beers at first, and they had to make ale-style beers.
What do you mean not allowed?
By law, by local law, they were not allowed because it was considered to be bad form for local brewing culture.
Okay.
So
all right,
they made an ale that sort of tasted like a
that's
lager.
That
was the idea.
You brought me this big boy.
I did. I really wanted to grab it.
I can't live up to that. What is that?
That is from Moss Mill in Bucks County, and this is the Birds.
The Birds. Okay.
Which is so this is a crowler that I got from the folks there.
Yeah.
And this beer is being brewed to raise funds for the Eagles Autism Challenge.
Oh, very nice.
And it uses, it's spelled, Eagles, it spells out 5 different hops, which I'm going to try to get to. For Eagles, or 6 hops. El Dorado, Amarillo, Galaxy, Liberty, Equinaut, Simcoe, and that's it.
That's it.
So,
all right, very light, very clear.
Yeah. So it's a basic plain beer. It's not necessarily going to knock you off, but it's a nice refreshing beer.
It's got to be what, like 5%?
Yeah, it's
okay.
typical. So.
All right, I brought you Doan's Lost Gold Kolsch. Okay, this is. Let me open that baby from Kittnersville, PA. I once stayed in a bed and breakfast in Kittnersville, as a matter of fact.
Oh, we'd like to have more details about that, Glenn.
No, you don't. Anyway, it is. Here's the detail I'll give you. This is brewed in a barn that was a former goat milking facility. I don't know what the demand is for goat milk. I guess cheese, right? They make goat cheese out of that. I don't want to be the guy who milks the goats, but here you go. Great barn. Doan's Lost Gold.
Very similar looking beers.
They got a tasting room in New Hope for this thing. It's actually a very similar tasting kind
Yeah,
of
it
beer.
is.
So it leads me to the question, is there a lot of variety in Kolsch?
No,
or
there's not.
They're all going to taste like
They're
this?
going to basically be that kind of beer. If, better beers are going to, taste a little bit smoother perhaps, but, it's a classic style beer with not a whole lot of variance in it.
Fine beers, not my favorite style. We've had some this year, the ambers that I've really liked, the brown ales that I've really liked. Again, we're trying to pay some attention to maybe some varieties of beer that don't get that attention.
So
I've had my Kolsch for the year now.
all right, good enough, good enough.
As we do this show, we are days away from Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday of the year. Joe Sixpack, I plan to overindulge dramatically in the turkey and the stuffing and all of that.
From start to finish.
From when the day begins through the night, right? I need beers to pair with my Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, that is a challenge, okay, because you have so many different courses. I mean, from whether it's whether it's just nice turkey legs or cranberry sauce or stuffing or
you do all of that to the pumpkin pie, all of it. Yep.
All right, green beans with
no,
onions.
God, no. Do you do that?
Oh my God, that's
with the
absolutely.
cream of mushroom soup.
Yes.
Oh, that's the worst part of Thanksgiving. No, we got that out of the house.
The Sixpack family has done that for generations.
All right. I don't know if there's actually I would drink a lot of beer to try to forget that. But let's go turkey. What am I going to pair with a turkey?
All right, so it's hard to really find one beer to pair for everything. So that's why I fall back to my trusty favorite, Saison.
Yeah.
Classic Saison style beer to me pairs really well with a lot of foods, and Saison will pair with sort of like a food like turkey that has a good bit of maybe a little greasy and gets cuts through the fat. It stands up to the cranberry salad, and it even can pair well against say pumpkin pie, against something sweet.
All
So,
right. Any Saisons
all
that
right,
we're
so
going with here?
always recommend the benchmark in Saison, which is Saison DuPont. This is one of the greatest beers ever brewed anywhere, in my opinion.
Wow.
And I tell people always this is a go-to beer.
Where's that from?
It is from Belgium, and
take a look
it's
at this
on a
puppy.
farm in Belgium that makes cheese and
Easily available? I can find this?
Yes, that you should be
I
able to
can't
find
even
that
read.
one.
Saison DuPont. Okay,
Yes,
there you
okay.
go.
So I recommend that one highly.
Okay.
However,
what am I paying for one of these?
a bottle that size runs about $7.50,
Oh, okay,
$8,
that's
so it's
fine.
not that
All
bad.
right, I'm
It
thinking
comes
with
in
this-
large style bottles as well, which
All right,
is
with
more,
the cork and the snooty name, I thought
Exactly.
I'm paying $25.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay, quickly, a couple others.
Hennepin, and then also another American brewery, Left Hand, is making this as a new product, I believe, Saison Au Genever, I guess is the name of it, or Genever, I should say, which is juniper. It's a with the juniper berries and so on.
Well, it's all going to make better for your Thanksgiving dinner. I love the food. I love the festivities. I love the football. I love it all. What could make it more fun? A great beer. Hey, coming up, Yingling, Hershey's chocolate. What more could I ask for? You've got some collaborations we're going to discuss here next on What's Brewing. Hi, it's Glen Macnow. You've seen some of our Conshohocken Brewing Company's spots on this show, so I'd like to invite you to come and check them out. You can find us in Conshohocken, Bridgeport, Phoenixville, King of Prussia, and here in Havertown, where I'm enjoying an award-winning Puddler's Row right now. It's one of our year-round core beers, along with Type A IPA and user-friendly blonde ale. We've also got exciting seasonal beers, like Blood Money IPA, Philly Vice, and our Unfiltered IPA series. And come hungry. From burgers and wings to salads and small bites, there's something for everyone. Don't leave without trying the amazing cheese curds. The warm weather is here, so you can enjoy yourself on one of our outdoor spaces. And good news, you can find Conshohocken beers at grocery stores, distributors, and restaurants throughout PA, South Jersey, and Delaware. So get yourself to Conshohocken Brewing Company. I'll meet you at the bar. Welcome back to What's Brewing. Joe Sixpack, Glen Macnow. We're at Ship Bottom Brewery Beer Garden at the Linvilla Orchards. I am enjoying a nice local stout because I like my stouts. I like my coffee stouts. But Joe Sixpack, coffee in a different, what's going on with coffee in a different way here?
Interesting. It caught my attention. This is Rise to Roar Coffee Project from the Levante Brewery in Westchester. So what they've done is they've worked up a collaboration with Golden Valley Farms, which is a local coffee maker, which coincidentally has a coffee stand here at Linvilla Orchards.
Okay.
And they are making, so the brewers at Levante got together with the coffee maker to come up with a variety of coffee that they will now can cold brew nitro.
So this is
coffee.
not beer.
Not a beer.
It's not alcoholic.
It's not alcoholic, but it is coffee, and
What
it's
am I
also
doing here?
it's nitro. Oh, it's
I drink
inspired
coffee.
by
I love
breweries.
coffee. Okay.
So I think the idea here is that you're supposed to pour this vigorously so you can get some. Yeah, exactly. We're
All
good
right.
at that.
There we
So-
go. That's as vigorous as I get.
It's not a salt shaker.
Well, you said vigorous. That's vigorous to me.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
So,
I got some bubbles.
yep.
All right, let's give it a shot. It's coffee.
It's coffee.
It's,
Yeah, you can see
it's
that's-
fine. I don't know that I'm going to run out to get it, but there you go. We always
So-
like to try something new.
Well, it's a nice way for to get a new product out there, but it's also a nice way to collaborate with another company, which is what it leads me into
yes,
this.
you've got a bunch of interesting new collaborations.
Yeah, and this is collaborations between brewers have been going on for quite a long time now, because I think brewers just like to get together, share a box of donuts, and
You
make
know
a
what?
beer together.
I'm sticking with the stout. Go
Okay,
ahead.
fair enough.
What do you got?
So I have a few here. And by the way, I should have mentioned too, Levante also makes a alcoholic version of
Right,
their
I thought
coffee
so,
beers.
yeah.
So this is their coffee shop terminology beer, inspired by the coffee, the local coffee.
Okay.
So a couple beers I really wanted to mention that I brought along with me. This is from Germany. We don't normally do beers from Europe on the show, but, well, we've already done Saison, I guess. But this is Hopfenweiss, which is from the Schneider Brewery. And this is a collaborative effort between Schneider and Brooklyn Brewing. And what they
Really?
did,
I
yeah,
like Brooklyn
it was a
Brewing.
great idea. This has been around. This is one of my favorite beers ever, I think, and it's a sort of a hoppy version of a wheat beer. Really, really a fantastic beer. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
At the other end of the spectrum, in terms of collaboration, we have
What is that?
Cookie Opus. This is
I've been called worse.
this is a rich chocolate collaboration between Captain Lawrence and Carvel ice cream.
Oh, Carvel ice cream?
That's Carvel.
Are you kidding me? Do you remember Tom Carvel and the guy, the
course.
old weird guy, and Cookie Puss and Fudgy and Hug Me the
It's like
Bear?
an octopus and all that
Yes.
kind. Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
we got to pour me
We gotta
some of
pour
that.
some.
Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
All right.
We're trying this. Carvel. God, I didn't even like
Well,
their ice
all right,
cream.
let me
but
just tell you one thing.
Yeah.
This beer is left over from St. Patrick's Day, so I
It's
can't
okay.
particularly
It's all right.
tell you how
There
fresh
you
it
go.
is.
That's fine. I've had worse. It's okay. It's chocolatey. It doesn't lack for flavor.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
All right. So that's a collaboration between a brewery and an ice cream maker. We recently have seen a few others
A little-
out there.
You know what? It was much better on the first sip.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
G-Love.
Yeah? Special sauce?
Yes,
beer?
has made a beer with a brewery called Good Life. I think they're out of
I
town.
love him.
They're
He's
out from the
great.
west.
And a real Philly guy.
Yes, exactly. And for some reason decided to go out of town to brew a beer.
Oh.
His special sauce, the Juice IPA.
Okay.
It's actually come back into the Philly market.
Okay.
You should start seeing something from them.
I'm a big fan of his.
It's a great idea. We also have Workhorse Brewing from King of Prussia has come up with a nice collaborative beer, Saxby's Coffee. Another, it's called Start It Up, and it's a vanilla coffee porter
All right,
that they're
we
making.
teased Yingling and Hershey. Tell me about that.
All right, so Yingling and Hershey is out. We've talked about this a couple times. I'm somewhat
Yeah, but I
disappointed.
still haven't tried it.
Right,
so
because it's
I
not
figure
out-
I'll keep bringing it up on the show
Yeah,
until we get
hopefully-
some.
Maybe they'll send us some, but it's not actually packaged. It wasn't in bottles or cans. It's only on draft, and it's only in bars that usually sell Yingling. They've had put the tight
I have
control
not
over it.
seen it, and trust me, I go to bars.
I know, and I haven't seen it yet. I really hope we can get a taste of it on the show at some point, but it's out there supposedly. So looking
A
forward to it.
couple of others I want to get to quickly. Planters Peanuts has done a collaboration?
Yeah,
with?
they did it with Noon Whistle, which is another non-Philly brewery. They made an IPA made with peanuts, so it's a pretty cool idea.
I would try that. I mean, we've had the peanut butter, what do you call it? I forget.
It's the porters. We've had
The peanut butter porter. Yeah. And our friends at Weyerbacher got something going on.
Yeah, they were doing a collaboration beer with White Castle hamburgers. I'm not sure that it's going to taste like hamburgers.
What?
I think it's more.
What?
Yeah. It's a beer that's going to be poured at White Castle, which I didn't even know they had beer at White Castle. But, with those sliders. Do you like White Castle?
I used to. Yeah, those little square sliders with all the onions. Yeah, actually, they're not so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, well, a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of exciting stuff. All right, coming up, this is a can of beer. Well, this is almost a can of beer. This is a can of beer.
That's coffee.
Oh. This is a can of beer. I can buy this at an affordable price. Would you pay $2,000 for a can? Somebody would. We'll explain why next on What's Brewing.
I'm Joe Sixpack. I love beer and I love travel. I've visited great breweries around the world, and I'm inviting you to join me on my next expedition to France. Yes, they make beer in France. We'll travel the Seine on a luxury river cruise from Paris to Normandy. We'll visit breweries, explore the sights, drink great beer, and maybe some wine. Join me in October 2020. Just visit my website at phillybeerworld.com. Let's discover a world of beer together.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. We're at the Ship Bottom Beer Garden at Linvilla Orchards in Media, PA. Beautiful spot, nice night. We're having a good time, drinking a stout. What could be better? We like to educate you, so we're going to do a little history right here, right? This allows us to get our federal grant for educational television, something like that. Anyway, 2 beer cans just went on sale and set a world record, Joe Sixpack. They sold for $2,860.
Not bad.
Not bad. I'm going to show you a picture of the cans. This is them. They come from the Welsh brewer, damned if I can pronounce this, Felin Few.
Yeah, I think you got it right the first time.
Well, that's it. It is, and this is the first beer ever canned outside of the United States. It's from the 1930s. They had an auction for these 2 cans that they discovered in somebody's house. People had kept these unopened in their house for 75 years. Unopened.
So there's beer in there?
There is beer in there. Be my guest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty cool. Those are really neat. Somebody should make those beer cans again. They were beer cans that had like a bottle top opener on them.
The problem, of course, is they don't stack.
Oh yeah.
So
aside from that, I mean, come on,
they would take up a lot of space. By the way, the modern can didn't come in until the late 1950s, I'm told.
What do you mean, my modern can?
By modern as in...
just straight
as
across?
In, boom, you can stack
right,
it. Yeah,
right.
That
we
was
should
an
do more about the history of the beer can because...
We should.
I mean, remember you used to have to open them with an actual can opener?
Yes.
A church key?
And then they had the rolling ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should, we'll do that. But anyway,
Right.
what we got here is this one. It had been stored in a cellar. At one point, they were kept on a desk, and they were bought by the guy who's now the general manager of the Fool brewery because he wanted the history.
It's in Wales.
It's in Wales.
So,
probably charged it to the company, and he got him. They said there's been some evaporation, they believe, in the cans. Well, yeah, I mean...
I guess, yeah.
Right, but they're in exceptional condition right now.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned the beer being in them because, you know, beer can collectors do not like to have the beer in the cans for a couple reasons.
Oh, is that right?
One, it's because it's heavy, but also because they rust out from the inside out. And so typically beer can collectors, when they have a can, they'll open up from the bottom of the can.
Okay.
And so you'll preserve the top on it, but you know it's much lighter, and you don't have to worry about the rust.
I know a guy owns a can of Billy beer, Billy Carter beer.
It's worth nothing.
Is that
nothing,
right?
Nothing at all.
He thinks he's got this treasure. Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
All right, let's get into something else. You said the Smithsonian's now getting into the act.
Yeah, this is pretty cool because this is partly because of the Brewers Association, which has really been pushing on the whole importance of beer in American history, its role in American history, and they help fund this idea of having an exhibit at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C., in which called Brewing a Revolution, in which they're going to be putting putting together, well, they already have put together an exhibit with some of the high points in American brewing history. So it's a
what do
pretty
you
cool
got?
idea.
What's in
All
there?
right, so one of my favorite things is the electric football game that Sam Calagione from Dogfish Head used to infuse beers, notably 60-minute IPA with hops. He had this, exactly, and so he had that set up on the side of the brew kettle, and it shook the hops into the kettle continuously for 60 minutes.
I had do you have electric football? I had electric football.
Absolutely, yeah.
and
I could never figure out how it worked, though.
Well, the cliche is you spend 20 minutes setting it all up, and then you turn it on, and the guy runs backwards, and like nothing happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. It looked great on the commercials. The quarterback would throw a pass on the commercials. All right, so if I got to contribute something to this exhibit, I would contribute this. This is the world's largest bottle of beer. It's a Salmanazar, whatever that is, 7 liters from Belgian Saint Fulien Triple. How about that?
That's a big bottle.
There you have it.
That is a nice bottle. It's also not American.
Oh, yeah.
This is an American brewing exhibit.
All right, Big Shot, what do you got?
Okay. Well, as I said in the tease, I think that the original six-pack, Joe Sixpack, should be in that exhibit, although I'm not quite ready for that
Who made
yet.
the original six-pack, do you know?
Whoever made the first can, I assume it was made sense to put it by a 6. But I was thinking history, Philly, something along the lines of maybe like Ben Franklin's bifocals, you know, the ones he used to read his recipes to make beers and stuff.
open the can?
Yeah, yeah.
Ben Franklin drink from a can?
Sure.
Probably not. Anyway, all right. Well, that's great. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk to Tom Wadsworth, one of the people very involved here at Ship Bottom, talk about some of the great things they have coming up. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. This is What's Brewing.
Ready? Fire!
Whoa! Hey, do you guys want to come with us?
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow along with Joe Sixpack. I'm enjoying a fine Mexican stout here at the Ship Bottom Beer Garden at Linvilla Orchards. We're joined by Tom Wadsworth, who is the tasting room manager, cleanup guy, right? Broom sweeper, director fun and games, everything here.
A little bit of everything, correct.
Good, good. Well, this is a great beer, but you guys have just a terrific array of products.
We have a lot. We have quite a few. And right now we have a couple of our flagships, which have built the company and which keeps the lights on and which done a lot for the company, like the Shack IPA, which we're drinking right now. It's nice West Coast style. It's got Simcoe, Nugget. It's got very good malt character with really good bitterness from.
All right, so I like how you said Simcoe Nugget. All right, shorthand, those are hops.
Those are hops, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I know most beer fans know what those hops are, but a lot of people, our viewers may not realize that hops, you know, there's a ton of variety of hops out there. Simcoe, very, very popular. And Nugget's one of those hops that is sort of new, but not particularly well, you know, widely used these days.
Yeah,
so.
crisp, clean, very nice.
Very simple.
Joe
easy
Sixpack
drinking.
knows I am partial to the East Coast, the hazy New England IPAs, but this is really good. This is a fine, fine beer.
It pays the bills. It keeps the lights on. This is what built the company right here. This beer.
Well, you run the tap room. Is it hard? I mean, like, are people looking for the core products, or are they looking for these, you know, the special beers like the Mexican stouts and the saltwater taffy beers, those sort of things?
I'd say it's split. There are people who come in who specifically want the Barnegat Lager, the Shack IPA, the Beach Patrol Hefeweizen, which they've been accustomed to for years and years. But our object is to get people to like more of our product and get more of our product out there. And, you know, come in, try the tap room stuff that you can't really get everywhere. You know, the Shack, the Lager, there are a lot of our places, a lot of our accounts all out Jersey and in Pennsylvania. The object of the tap room is to get those other beers, people to come and drink them there.
Okay, so you've got customers coming in for beers that may have already been kicked off the taps. How hard is it to console those people that came there just to get, say, the Mexican stout and sorry, there's none left?
It's hard. Well, we can just say we're sorry we don't have any. That's the best terminology we can do. We'll tell them if you like that, you're gonna like this. and hopefully, you know, they enjoy it, and then we just keep telling them to keep come back and, you know, watch our social media, follow us.
Let's talk about this great VW bus behind us.
So the owner, Rob Zarko, he had an idea of doing, let's bring our beer out and about to the public, and a device, something that could follow us, that speaks the beach, speaks surfing, speaks Ship Bottom Brewery. And there's nothing like a 1970s VW van. And
I would imagine the Jersey Shore cops, they see this thing going down, you might just get pulled over. I mean, come on.
Well, actually, they know us well now, so they kind of leave us alone.
Okay.
You know, we're actually close with the cops, and
So the tap room, which is not actually in Ship Bottom, it's where?
it's in Beach Haven, New Jersey, a couple towns south of Ship Bottom.
So that's a Jersey Shore town.
It is.
We think of it as being completely dead down the Jersey Shore in the winter, but that's not necessarily the case at your place in the off season.
It's not. We are open year round. We do go down from 7 days a week in the summertime to 5 to 4 to right now we're probably going down to 3 close towards the winter, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we stay open because we're there anyways. And you know what? It's something that, like you said, it's a dead town. We want to be open to the public. We want to offer something year round, and we do it. And people do come visit us, and they make the trip out there.
All right, so before we move on, I want to make sure that, because I'm going to tap your genius here, Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yes.
I love beer at Thanksgiving. We gave some suggestions early on what you should be serving with your dinner. You got a favorite?
I do. I would say I'm a big fan of lagers myself and pilsners. I do like Doppelbocks. So any good Doppelbock, nice bready double lager with, you know, that pairs well with like stuffing. It pairs well with the beef, the ham. I love Doppelbocks. And can I be specific here?
Sure.
One of my favorites. Neshaminy Creeks, they did the Faded Doppelbock a while back. It actually was a chocolate Doppelbock. I had it once, craving it ever since. They don't make it anymore. It's one of those beers in the back of my head. I'm always like,
all right,
where
so
can
you
I get
advise
more?
us to get a beer that you can't get anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a call out to Neshaminy Creek. You should hear the message. All right, real quickly, we've been conducting our brew down,
Right.
and we have a field of 32 as we're going down. Did a sour matchup this week.
Yes, we did. Another blowout in the series. We had Free Will Blood and Guts, actually a really, really good beer, but it went up against a powerhouse at Victory Sour Monkey.
Yeah.
And Sour Monkey took that one.
Yeah, I think everybody who's had the Golden Monkey now tries the Sour Monkey, and you know, I'm not in any way discounting anything, but name identification helps them to begin with. And then we had another one,
I think
right?
that was the same case in the next matchup that had Sterling Pig Shoat, which is a really, really, really good Pilsner.
Yeah.
Yes, in the Pilsner section. Actually, Craig Laban called it, I think it was the top new beer of the year in his recent Brewvitational. It went up against a powerhouse in Dock Street Bohemian Pils, and Dock Street won that one. So they move on to the next bracket.
Well, there you go. All right. Hey, Tom, thank you so
Pleasure.
much.
Thank you for having
What a
me,
pleasure
too.
to be out here today. We've really enjoyed it. This place is really open through, well, as long as the weather holds out. So if you're coming out to Linvilla, bring the kids. Still got the pumpkins going, the hay rides. You ever done the maze in the hay?
I got lost, and it was a bad scene, Glenn.
Well,
really.
it's a good time, and you come out and have a great time here at Linvilla Orchards. Thank you so much for having us. We'll see you next week on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Macnow Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Follow the Bucks County Ale Trail. Go to visitbuckscounty.com/ale trail to get your passport. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company, now with 5 locations.